Alright, I made it to Tate Branch, and this is part of the Chattahoochee National Forest. Spot's run by the Department of Agriculture and Forestry Department. This is my site. This is my backyard. Incredible views. I've got the river right behind me. Get to listen to it all night long, which will be fun. And some of the river views here, especially after good rains, which is where I am right now, are spectacular. Here, I tried to put waterproofing around the outsides. I sealed the seams on the outside. And another thing I did, this pole the last time, trekking pole, fell over to the side in the middle of the night. I guess I bumped it at the base down there. And so anyway, I've got it set up here. And then I've also, in addition to bringing it down with the stake here, I've also got it tied up to the tree. So that should hold it in place a little better, and it should take some bumps and whatnot. And let's see what happens. But I've got it all tied off. It's a nice roomy tent. It's very inexpensive. I paid 35 bucks for this thing, and I love trying out these things. But nice and roomy on the inside, and we'll see how it goes tonight. Luckily, a couple trees came down, and they got rotten. I had to cut them, so I had some wood that I could use to split. It's green, but I'm going to try to burn it anyway, and I found enough young, old dead stuff to get it going, and I got a little bit of kindling there. So we'll try to see what we can do on the fire pit tonight. They've got the bear-proof trash cans, and they've also got the pit toilet. If Tate Branch is all filled up when you get there, because it's first come, first served, there are no reservations on these national sites. Just about maybe a half a mile up the road is Sandy Bottom, which has some other good campsites. You just do a switchback on the road back there, go back there, and then right outside of Sandy Bottom is the city of Tate City, and its population 32 plus or minus. If you come out here, especially in the winter time, or if there's going to be some stormy weather, you might want to bring a chainsaw with you, because that might be the only way you get out. If you look at all these mountainsides, the trees are just sliding off these hills. And luckily, a lot of them get blocked by other trees, but tons of them have been cut off the road. So, in order to get out, you may want to bring your chainsaw. It's really sad someone would leave all their trash out here. I actually had a freak accident pulling a piece of wood. The shaft went right into my thumb, started bleeding. I got blood all over my hands. Luckily, I always carry rubber bands around my wrists. Rubber bands are so important to bring because you can use them for anything. And I made a tourniquet for my thumb to slow the bleeding down, I'll put some antiseptic on it because I have my nice kit here that I always carry with me. Got it all fixed up. That was bizarre. It just took a bunch of skin off the end of my thumb and started bleeding like crazy. I didn't even feel it. Looks like a dog print. But anyway, I'm going to try something new. I've got my hamburger pieces in the that I dehydrated in the pot, and I packed that with some ramen. And I'm not a big eater on the trail, so you know I didn't put a lot in. But anyway, I'm going to break up the ramen a little bit, and then I'm going to put the water in with that. And then I've got my sauce. This is a tomato sauce, and I'm going to put that in on top. I dehydrated that as well. So just remember that the sauce always goes on top of everything else, and that'll keep it from sticking. Now see, that's like a leather. That's what they actually call it, leather. And what I've done is I've dehydrated on my dehydrating rack, and then I've folded it over several times to get the size and the weight, you know, the size down. So what I do is I just break this up like this into smaller pieces and throw it on top. And sometimes you can find the seam and you just break it open, and you just kind of tear it into smaller pieces and leave it on the top. And I mean, I know this looks like shoe leather almost, but it comes out perfect every time. I love it. And I also do a lot of salsas this way. I take a lime salsa, which is really, really good, and I'll dehydrate it, and the spices are heightened when you dehydrate it for some reason. I mean, I guess because all the water's gone, you diluted it. And then see, I've taken all these, so then that's what I've got. And then I'll just put the water in on that, and I'll fill that up until it's right up to the top. I want everything to be covered, and I don't care if it's a little soupy, that's fine with me. All right, so I've got that set up. And then what I'm going to try to do, I've always wanted to do this. This is a zebra pot, or a zebra pot. They make it in Malaysia. They use it a lot in Asia and Australia, Africa. But it comes with this little compartment here. And these are made in Thailand, zebra Thailand. I don't know if you can see that on the bottom of that thing or not. But they're stainless steel. They're great. Clean up really easy. And then I've got a guy who put these little clips on there. So he buys the zebra pots, puts the clips on, and what that does, when you clip it on, it keeps your handle in place. So when you're dangling that over the fire, you're not picking up that incredibly hot handle on the side. Smart guy. And he's made a great aftermarket in zebra pots. But what I'm going to do, I brought an egg with me, and I'm going to put some ghee or some olive oil. I brought both. I have this miniature packets in the bottom down here, and get it all in the sides and everything like this. And when I boil this, the water in here, I'm going to see if it will cook the egg in the top. And I'll have the egg with the hamburger and the ramen. So we're going to see how that works. And I'm pretty sure it'll generate enough heat that that you can cook the egg too. You know, I guess I could go ahead and put the egg in there now, and then let that sit for about 10 minutes. Came out really good. That tomato sauce is a little spicy, which I really like. And everything turned out really, really well. All right, we had slight drizzle, but the drizzle went away, thank God. And I've got my Enlightened equipment down quilt that I'm going to use. It's really, I sleep very hot, so that's probably going to be hot for me. I'll probably sleep on top of it. But I've also got my X-Bed extra large pillow, and I don't fill it all the way because I'm a side sleeper, so I sleep like this and it gives my head just the right support. If I fill it all the way, it's actually kind of bulky. And then I'm actually trying out a new pad. I've got the Nemo Tensor. It's the regular size pad.
Here is the hazardous weather outlook. This hazardous weather outlook is proportional to north and central Georgia.
The breakfast of champions. Justin's peanut butter, spiced hot chocolate, and coffee. Time to get the burger going. Get these at our Kroger supermarket. I buy sandwich meat in these already sliced, and then when I eat all the sandwich meat, I keep all of these. And really, these are more valuable than the sandwich meat. I buy them for the containers, but also too, they can hang. They got a hanging slot on top of them as well. So if you run a guideline in your camp, you can string these up. And I've got snacks in this one. And you can put your fire gear in one or whatever, and then you just pop the lid open, and then you can put it back in, pop the lid back on. You keep everything on a nice little guideline in your camp. Love these things. Very compact. I keep them in my day pack. This has got my food in it for day pack, but they nice compartments in your backpack. You know, it'll fit in your outer pouches. Keep things pretty dry. I wouldn't consider it waterproof, but it'll keep things pretty dry. So things that, you know, don't really matter as much, put them in these, stick them in your compartments in your backpack, and then you get the whole kit together. Nice stuff. A lot of tree fall on these steep banks. I don't know if it's disease, pests, or fire, but something got a hold of a lot of these trees. They're just laying down like toothpicks. really incredible. The water shoving between these two mountains for eons. And what it does to these hard pieces of rock. This piece of rock is absolutely smooth. I mean, it's as smooth as a piece of plastic that's just been molded. Incredible. And how the water and the currents route out these fine troughs. But the water has exposed the core of the valley with all the rock, and then it begins shaping all that stone. It's magnificent. These sheer cliffs create the ultimate vacuum for this water coming down as fast as possible. Concentrates it in a very tight corridor and then sends it flying. It's the perfect trout habitat. Just to give you an idea of what some of these trout fishermen have to do in order to catch a trout. You get off the gravel road and you step down that incline, multiple steep steps, dodging trees, going through roots. And the hardest part of all that is you're carrying a fishing pole at the same time. And the length of the fishing pole is what kills you, because you get it tangled and everything as you go down. But these guys are pretty good at it. They hold it steady to the waist, forward or back, and they maneuver up and down these hills quite well. Here's another one. You just got to be really careful when you're walking down those steep steps going down to the body of water. And then here's another one too. Rocks poking out. If you go too early, you may not see it. Just south on the forestry road from Tate Branch is the Tallulah River Campgrounds. And they're very nice. They've got some great views of the river. So you've got quite a few choices within a very short distance. If one of them's full, you can go to the other two. Having an incredible lunch with one of the best views anybody could ever have in the entire world for a lunch. I'm eating some of my dehydrated Granny Smith apples. I had a Justin's peanut butter packet and got my water. And check out this view that I have for my lunch. Elusive trout that everybody's after. Good job. Thanks. Good example of why you need to be careful. This fell since I passed it the first time, and somebody broke it off. They had the strength or the car or whatever to hook it up and break it. But be careful with trees coming across the road. Yeah, I saw some incredible views. Some of those river views are just incredible. Trout fishermen all over the rivers. Looked at my Garmin, and I did 8.5 miles. Not bad. I started at 11. It's 2:20, 2:28 now, so that's not bad. And my altitude adjustment, I went up 656 feet. So not bad. Nice hike. There it goes, finally. That wind was carrying it. I'll get some coffee started and enjoy the afternoon. I wish I had brought my hammock. I forgot to do it. Let the gas burn off, and when it burns off, then I'll turn the knob on and get it going. It's starting right now. Just let it die down. All right, now let's turn it on. I love to drink coffee, and when I'm here by myself, when I'm not with my wife, I just bring these little coffee sleeves. But I love having these wide mouth juice containers. This is an Evolution Fresh container, cold pressed vegetable fruit juice. But anyway, I can pack a bunch of those sleeves in there, keeps them from getting torn open, keeps them dry too, doesn't allow them to get all saturated with humidity. Works out real well. Like I said, keto in the warmer months, it's kind of interesting because if you use the ghee, it's all liquid. In the winter time, it's frozen. So the nice thing about it in the winter time when you're camping and it's freezing outside is this whole pack is frozen. I have to cut it up into pieces, which is nice because then I don't have to worry about it running all over everything. I don't have to have a plastic bag, Ziploc bag to put it in and all that kind of stuff. Works out real well in the winter time. Made a mess, but I guess I can use that for the fire. A lot of chips all over the place. But I carved my own little tiki statue. It's wet wood and it's smoky, but it's starting to take. So, as long as we get the fire going, looks like it's about to go. Hopefully it will. It's been popping and smoking. Dinner tonight, dehydrated broccoli, dehydrated tuna, salsa for the rich tomato sauce, and black-eyed peas, all dehydrated. Turned out great. The peas and the broccoli look beautiful. Turned out really well. With that tomato sauce, got it going full blast. Pumping out like a furnace in the middle, nice and hot. All right, this is all being taped in March of 2020, and the coronavirus is going on. COVID-19, they're calling it, and the rangers are contacting people, and everybody has to bug out of the national forest. So it's reached that point. I was kind of surprised because the nearest tent site to me is at least 250 feet away. I know there are some other sites that I've shown in this video where the sites are closer. I get that, but I guess they can't do it on a site-by-site basis or a park-by-park basis. They just either have to do them all or none. But anyway, I've heard New York is beset with cases, and California is on fire with coronavirus right now. And if they're going to bug out the campsites, I imagine eventually somebody at the federal level is going to stop all the through hikes on the Appalachian Trail and Pacific Coast Trail. They may have already stopped the hikes on the Pacific Coast Trail with California in the shape it's in, but the hostels that people are staying in and the crowded shelters and all that kind of stuff, I can't imagine them letting that go on if they're going to close out sites like this. So interesting times we're living in, and let's hope that everything gets back to, or at least close to, normal by this summer, and all of us can get back on the trail again, and we'll see what happens. But this is one of these situations where you just got to use your wits and be smart about what you're doing, and you'll make it through okay. And let's pray for all those people who are affected or have family members that are affected by the virus, and let's pray that the treatment regimens that they're working on now, that they work, and the number of deaths will decrease dramatically. All right, take care.